कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव, जय कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेवा, जय सुभद्रमा, जय सुदर्शना, जय गौर निताय, जय पंच तत्वा, जय गौर निताय, जय पंच तत्वा, जय नरसिम्हा देव, जय प्रहलाद महाराज, जय नरसिम्हा देव, जय प्रहलाद महाराज, जय राधा माधव श्री राधे। जय जय प्रभुपाद, जय शिला प्रभुपाद। हरे कृष्णा। We start with prayers. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतात्पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितां च। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतसे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रा सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So today we are going to discuss from third canto, 30 first, 32nd chapter, verse number 41. Okay, so I have shared my screen. So we'll read the verse. श्रद्धाधानाय भक्ताय विनीताय न सूयवे भूतेषु कृतमैत्राय शुश्रूषाभिरताय च श्रद्धाधानाय भक्ताय विनीताय न सूयवे भूतेषु कृतमैत्राय शुश्रूषाभिरताय च श्रद्धाधानाय भक्ताय विनीताय न सूयवे भूतेषु कृतमैत्राय शुश्रूषाभिरताय च श्रद्धाधानाय faithful, bhaktaya to the devotees, vinitaya respectful, anasuyate non-envious, bhuteshu to all living entities, kritamatraya friendly, shushrusha faithful service, abhirataya eager to render, cha and translation. Instruction should be given to the faithful devotee who is respectful to the spiritual master, non-envious, friendly to all kinds of living entities, and eager to render service with faith and sincerity. Okay, so I'm also asked to speak on the second verse, which has a purport. 42nd verse. I'll just read the verse. Bahirjata vairagaya santa chittaya diyatam nirmatsaraya suchaye yashaham preyasam priya. Bahi, for what is outside. Chata vairagya, to him who has developed detachment. Shanta chittaya, whose mind is peaceful. Diyatam, let this be instructed. Nirmatsaraya, non-envious. Suchaye, perfectly cleansed. Yasya, of whom aham, I. Preyasam, of all that is very dear. Priya, the most dear. Translation. The instruction should be imparted by the spiritual master to persons who have taken the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be more dear than anything, who are not envious of anyone, who are perfectly cleansed, and who have developed detachment for that which is outside the purview of Krishna consciousness. Purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charnarvind, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the beginning, no one can be elevated to the highest stage of devotional service. Here, bhakta means one who does not hesitate to accept the reformatory process of becoming a bhakta. In order to become a devotee of the Lord, one has to accept a spiritual master and inquire from him about how to progress in devotional service. To serve a devotee, to chant the holy name according to certain counting method, to worship the deity, to hear Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita from a realized person, and to live in a sacred place where devotional service is not disturbed, are the first out of 64 devotional activities for making progress in devotional service. One who has to accept these 5 chief activities is called a devotee. One must be prepared to offer the necessary respect and honor to the spiritual master. He should not be unnecessarily envious of his god brothers. Rather, if a god brother is more enlightened and advanced in Krishna consciousness, one should accept him as equal to the spiritual master, and one should be happy to see such god brothers advance in Krishna consciousness. A devotee should always be very kind to the general public in instructing Krishna consciousness, because that is the only solution for getting out of the clutches of Maya. That is really humanitarian work, for it is the way to show mercy to other people who need it very badly. The word Shushrusha Bhirataya indicates a person who faithfully engages in serving the spiritual master. One should give personal service and all kinds of comfort to the spiritual master. A devotee who does so is also a bona fide candidate for taking this instruction. The word Bahirjata Vairagya means a person who has developed detachment from external and internal material propensities. Not only is he detached from activities which are not connected to Krishna consciousness, but he should be internally averse to the material way of life. Such a person must be non-envious and should think of the welfare of all living entities, not only of the human being, but the living entity other than human beings. The word Suchaya means one who is cleansed both externally and internally. To become actually cleansed externally and internally, one should chant the holy names of Lord Lord Hare Krishna or Vishnu constantly. The word Diyatam means, just a minute. The word Diyatam means that knowledge of Krishna consciousness should be offered by the spiritual master. The spiritual master must not accept a disciple who is not qualified. He should not be professional and should not accept disciple for monetary gains. The bona fide spiritual master must see the bona fide qualities of a person whom he is going to initiate. An unworthy person should not be initiated. The spiritual master should train his disciple in such a way so that in the future only the Supreme Personality of Godhead will be the dearmost goal of his life. In these two words, the qualities of a devotee are fully explained. One who has actually developed all the qualities listed in these verses is actually elevated to the post of a devotee. If one has not developed all these qualities, he still has to fulfill this condition in order to become a perfect devotee. So, since 43rd verse is the last verse of this chapter, so I'm also asked to go through this verse. This verse doesn't have a purport. Ya idam shrinuyat amba shraddhaya purusha sakrit yovabhidhatte macchitta sahi eti padavim chame. Yeah, he who, idam this, Srinuyat may hear, Amba, O mother, Shraddhaya, with faith, Purusha, person, Sakrit once, yeah, he who, Va or Abhidhatte repeats, Machitta, his mind fixed on me, Sa he certainly, Eti attends, Padavim, abode, Cha and may, my. Translation: anyone who once meditate upon me with faith and affection, who hears and chant about me, surely goes back to Godhead. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the third canto, 32nd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Entanglement in Fruitive Activities. Hare Krishna. Okay, so in these verses, it is being discussed the most fundamental aspect of devotional service. So Rupa Goswami, while listing out his 64 items of devotional service, he mentions different types of activities in Krishna consciousness, different items of devotional service, which are actually very useful uh, for connecting a sadhaka back to his spiritual consciousness. These are the various outlets. Just like we have electricity, we cannot touch the electricity directly. So we have given different plugs in our house. So different plugs and switches in our houses are outlets to connect to that electricity in a different capacity in different ways. So these 64 items are actually the ways to connect to the supreme absolute truth, who is beyond these three modes of material nature. And out of that, of course, we know that Sri Rupa Goswami mentions that 5 are the most potent. They are the most uh, direct way of connecting to Krishna consciousness. He lists chanting of the holy names, the reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, the association of devotee, living in the holy places, and the worship of the deities. And we know that how Srila Prabhupada was very emphatic in introducing these items in our Krishna conscious society. But the 64 items, they begin with one most important item. And that's why Srila Rupa Goswami, although in the end he lists these powerful processes, but the first few items, the first 10 items at least, the major focus of Sri Rupa Goswami was to accept a spiritual master. So though these 64 items are very powerful, but it all starts when a person seeks the shelter of the spiritual master. And that's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while instructing to Rup and Sanatana Goswami, he begins his instruction with this very important verse that Brahman Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jiv Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. While a living entity is roaming and roaming and roaming in the different species of life, in different planets, trying to enjoy different types of sense gratification, trying to explore the variety of ways in which sense gratification can be experienced, is fully lost, fully maddened, fully illusioned by the three modes of material nature. So, in some life, by great fortune, so I think once Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj, he wrote one very nice book. The title of the book was very amazing. When good fortune arises. Yes. So the good fortune arises. So the good fortune of that soul who is wandering, who is roaming in different species of life for millions and billions of years. Yes. Srila Prabhupada used to say that we cannot trace back since when the living entity is roaming in this world. Yes. It seems to be a very, very long time. Yes. So when good fortune arises, a particular point comes when his good fortune fructifies. And that is when he meets Guru Krishna Prasade Payal Bhakti Lata Bij. When he meets a spiritual master, when he meets a Krishna conscious devotee who implants for the first time, he intervenes in his materialistic way of life and implants that the seed of devotional service. So that's why it is said that Krishna generally doesn't give that the seed of devotional service directly. It's very difficult. It's very rare case. Maybe some that Krishna implants the seed of devotional service directly into the heart of the conditioned soul. Generally, it is done through through the agents of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Srila Prabhupada used to say that devotees are the agents or the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this foreign place. Srila Prabhupada used to give us the example of embassy. It's like in a foreign land, if we have gone and we are caught up in some problem and we don't know how to connect back to our country. So every country has a certain embassy in every country. Yes? So we can connect to that embassy. Yes? So that embassy is the representative of that particular country. So if we connect to that, we get the benefit of uh, our country. Yes. So in the same way, Srila Prabhupada used to say that the spiritual master or the devotees of the Lord are the embassy, are the representative, are the agents of the Supreme Personality of God within this material world. Yes. Who help a conditioned soul, who implants that seed of devotional service into them. And that's why it is said as Bhakti Sanjayate Bhakti. That like one candle, it lights another candle. Similarly, a person who is carrying devotional service, only he is eligible that he can spark, he can uh, he can donate that Krishna consciousness to others. And that's why the process of learning in material world and the process of learning in spiritual circle are completely different. Yes. There's a paradigm difference between the process of acquiring knowledge or learning in the material circle and in the spiritual circle. In material circle, it's all about information. Because I have to somehow gather some information through my ears, through my eyes, into my brain. Yes, and within the brain it is, and then I just have to drain it out in exam. Maybe I've kept some information in the brain, and in school days we know that how people, they just write in the exam, they just pass it. That's all. That's the only use of all the knowledge. Yes, or at max when they go to the company, yes, they have to drain out that information in writing some codes or in operating some, so also learning some skills, operating some machine, etc., etc. Yes. So the major focus is the information. That's all. And how that information is received, yes, that doesn't matter. In which attitude it is received, that doesn't matter. The only thing is that let some information get stored in the brain, and there are certain outlets in which those informations are implemented and done with it. And that's why in the material circle, it doesn't matter how we how we treat our teachers. Even if we learn from, so nowadays, with advanced technology, even sometime a teacher is not required. Yes, because so many YouTube videos have come. There are so many educational YouTube videos in which sometimes the face of the teacher is also not visible. Yes. It is just information. That's all. Whether you learn it through a teacher, whether you learn it through YouTube, whether you learn it through some educational app, that doesn't matter. How the information has come, it has just come. That's most important. And even if you're learning from a teacher, how you treat your teacher also doesn't matter. Whether you treat him very respectfully, or whether you insult him, whether you talk badly about him behind his back, whether you are disciplined, whether you are indisciplined, that doesn't matter. Somehow that information has come and you have topped the exam, you are very good in certain skill, that's enough. From where the knowledge has come, how the knowledge has come, what was your attitude, nothing matters. But when we come to the spiritual circle, when it comes to taking spiritual knowledge, the process is completely different. Because spiritual knowledge is not about information, it is not uh, brain level processing, it is heart level processing. Because the spiritual consciousness, the spiritual knowledge, it transcends our senses, our mind, our intelligence. It acts at the level of soul, which is way beyond, which is transcendental to any of the material, whether subtle or gross. So the soul, the spiritual consciousness is beyond that, and that's why how much knowledge we can store in our brain, etc. These are all very superficial. The actual the actual wealth is not that of the soul, the spiritual consciousness. That is the most important, and that's why the process is completely different. The way we do it in the material world, because and it is said that the spiritual knowledge, it is beyond the reach of a living entity to comprehend. Using our limited intelligence, using our limited mind, we cannot just squeeze that knowledge within our limited brain. Yes, it's not possible. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that even if a person, even if a great yogi, he try to uh, reach at the speed of mind, he travels at the speed of mind, still he cannot reach beyond this material world, this huge ocean. So the material world is sometimes compared to an ocean. If you're drowning in the ocean, no matter which way you try this way, that way, you may be very perfect swimmer, but one cannot reach to the boundary of this ocean. One cannot cross that ocean. It's impossible. Yes. And that's why it is said that Srila Prabhupada used to give us the method of ascending knowledge and descending knowledge. Yes. So ascending knowledge means that I am very proud of my senses. I have great faith in my intelligence. And I just try. Okay, I have acquired this knowledge. Using my effort, this knowledge has come, and it makes that knowledge makes a person very very proud. But there is something known as descending knowledge. Descending knowledge means it is beyond the reach of my hands, my legs, my senses, my mind, my intelligence. It's beyond the reach. It's beyond the three modes of material nature. Yes. So that knowledge has to be received. When somebody is merciful, like Srila Prabhupada in the same ocean example, he used to say that you are trying in the ocean this way, that way, doesn't matter. But if you want to get out of the ocean, there is only one way possible. It's very difficult to surmount, to cross over that surmountable. Um, so there is only one way, that is to cry out, please help me, please help me. And if you are lucky, if you are fortunate, then somebody hears your voice, and somebody from above try to pick you up, try to send some helping tool, yes, so that you can be rescued. That's the only possible. So ascending process, if you're drowning in the ocean, the ascending process doesn't work. You try, your efforts will all be useless. The only process is the descending process, is to beg the mercy of somebody who is beyond the ocean. Yes? And this is also very important. Be in the ocean. If you are in the ocean, the person who will save you, the person who will rescue you, should be outside the ocean. If somebody else also is drowning in the ocean, two-person drowning in the ocean, they cannot help each other. Yes. So the person who will help a person drowning in the ocean should be outside the ocean. That person should be above the three modes of material nature, who want to pick up a person who is into the three modes of material nature. And that's where the process of descending process is being highlighted. Yes. And that's why in the spiritual circle, the respect to the spiritual master, what attitude we have, our service attitude to the spiritual master, all these becomes very, very prime of great importance. And that's why Srila Rupa Goswami, while listing out his 64 items of devotional service, he puts first and foremost is to take shelter of the spiritual master. Yes. Because the spiritual knowledge doesn't work like, okay, spiritual master is there. Okay, spiritual master, you speak it out. I will just hear. I will remember the verses. I have a great mental capacity. I can hold all the knowledge within the brain. Yes, we can do that, but that doesn't work, because where is the realization of that knowledge? So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives two names. One is Jnana and one is Vijnana. Jnana is just a brain deep knowledge, but Vijnana is when we have a factual realization of that knowledge. We know the tattva of what is the truth, and that is only possible when the spiritual master is pleased with us. When the spiritual master, when he feels that we are qualified, when he feels that, oh, this disciple is so nice, if you have really pleased the spiritual master, by the will of the spiritual master, will that knowledge be realized within the heart. And that knowledge, since it is beyond the three modes of material nature, we cannot even touch it with our own effort, no matter how much you try it out. You know, I will remember all the Bhagavad Gita, I will remember all the 18,000 Bhagavatam, and I will realize Krishna one day. Yes, I will study Bhagavatam 5 hours a day. I will day and night read all the Upanishads, all the Puranas. I will finish the Bhagavatam maybe 10 times in my whole life. I will make a cycle of it. I will very scrutinizingly read every shloka of it. I will very scrutinizingly read every line of it. You try it. We can try it out without pleasing the spiritual master by separating our service attitude towards the spiritual master, no matter how much we read. And that's why Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit says, Bahu janma kari yadi shravana kirtana tabe to na pai Krishna premantana. For thousands and thousands of lifetimes, you do shravan and kirtan in whatever variety of ways you can, in whatever your sensual capacity, mental capacity, intellectual capacity, you try to do shravan and kirtan, but still it doesn't happen. Yes, because that knowledge, what you are trying to acquire, is not what is within the realm of this material. Yes, it is beyond the realm of the material. It is beyond the three modes of material nature, and you cannot catch it. You cannot. It is not endy actually. It's beyond the reach of any of the living entity. And that's why the process, that descending process of serving the spiritual master, taking shelter of the spiritual master, inquiring from the spiritual master, pleasing the spiritual master, that's the only way out. Begging the mercy of the spiritual master, that remains the only and only way out in which that spiritual knowledge can be acquired. There is absolutely no way out. And this is the very, very prime importance. That, and that's why, and how this process is actually facilitated. So, Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya Chaham Hridayam Nivisto, Matta Smritir Jnanam Mohanam Cha. He says that since I am situated in everyone's heart, and I am the source of all the knowledge, I am the cause of remembrance, I am also the cause of forgetfulness. Even the people who forget Krishna, even the atheistic people, so their atheistic idea, their agnostic ideas is also Krishna is the source of that particular ideas. So as per the will of the living entity, as per the desires of the living entity, Krishna facilitates the either the remembrance or the forgetfulness. Yes. So Krishna try to adjust the remembrance and forgetfulness as per to facilitate the enjoying mentality of a living entity. When a living entity want to really enjoy a lot, he just want to forget the spiritual, all the spiritual knowledge. So Krishna facilitates by switching off the inflow of the spiritual knowledge, and by facilitating all the artistic ideas, etc. So same Krishna is there in the heart of a guru. Same Krishna is there as the Paramatma in the heart of a disciple. Yes. So Krishna knows our attitude. So till the time when Krishna is convinced that we are actually in the right attitude, actually we are pleasing our spiritual master, yes, then only when he switches on, unless Krishna switch on, he turns the switch on. Till that time, it will never get revealed in our heart. It is Krishna from within, and Krishna is sitting in the Guru's heart also. Yes. He can also sense when we please the spiritual master, Krishna knows that we are pleasing the spiritual master because he is sitting in the heart of Guru also. And when Krishna sense within the Guru's heart that we have actually pleased the spiritual master, the same Krishna who is sitting in our heart, he will also break the dam. He will also break that boundary so that all the flow of spiritual knowledge can inundate our heart. And that's why Upanishad says that one who is faithful to the spiritual master, yes, the import of the Vedic knowledge is automatically revealed within one's heart. Automatically. It is just a waiting time for Krishna to switch on that, to break that dam and let all the inflow of realizations All the inflow of the signs of Krishna consciousness inundate the heart of the disciples. Yes. So it is just like we have the example of tower. So when we have uh, so when we do a call, yes, to another person, so that connection is established to a common tower. So there's a tower, you know. So that tower is there. So when we call, so it's not that the call is received directly to the person. Yes. So there's a tower in between. First, our call goes to a tower, and then that tower transmits that call to the another person. The same thing happens in the relationship of guru and disciple. Yes. So it is so the science is completely different. Yes. It's not about just knowledge transmission, but it's all about the realizations. And that's why pleasing the spiritual master is very, very important. And that's why we see various examples of our uh, sampradaya, that how each of our acharya, they were desperate to receive the mercy of their spiritual master. We have Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur, how much he was so desperate, how much he endeavored to get the mercy of Srila Loknath Swami. So it is said that Narottam Das Thakur was from a very elevated background, while Loknath Goswami was a very simple person. He was living in Vrindavan, and he felt himself so unqualified to accept disciple. But we know the past time that how Narottam Das Thakur, he was ready to wait for many, many lifetimes to get the mercy of Loknath Goswami. And he was practically ready to clean the stool and urine of his spiritual master so that he can please the spiritual master. And then Loknath Goswami, when he saw the desperateness of Narottam Das Thakur, finally he was ready to award him the mercy. We see the example of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. How great scholar he was. What an intellectual capacity. He was given the title of Saraswati, trying to glorify his intellectual capacity. But that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was so begging, he was so desperate to become the servant of Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. And who was Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj? Materially speaking, it is completely opposite to what was Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was uneducated, he was not a scholar, he cannot even read or write in a very efficient way. But Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was ready to, he was saying, I will give up my life. What is the use of my life if I don't get the mercy of Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj? Yes. He was feeling in that way. He was ready to approach. He practically approached Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj many, many times so that he can please Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. And when Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj saw that sincerity, he finally awarded that mercy on Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Why was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur so desperate to receive it from an uneducated person? Because he was not looking for knowledge, he was looking for spiritual realization. Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was a reservoir of love of God. He was a reservoir of Vipra Lamba Bhav. He was a reservoir of that loving separation from Krishna. He was a reservoir of the taste of the holy name. He was a reservoir of the Roop, Gun and Leela of Lord Sri Krishna, which was inundating the heart of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj practically every moment. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was thirsty for that realization. Because It is not through knowledge. It is not through remembering the verses. It is not through, through a great mental capacity can we harness Krishna in our heart. Yes, no matter what way we try, how many Upanishads we can remember, how many Puranas we can read, how many shlokas we can remember, how many days we can spend in temple, how many times we can wake up in the morning. We can do all this gymnastic and exercises. Yes. But actually, we should do it also. Srila Prabhupada used to say, because these are the way to show Krishna that we want his mercy. But these are not the only qualification. And that's why we have the example of a milk drinking brahmachari. How one milk drinking brahmachari uh, was put by Srivas Thakur to see the dancing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he clearly declared that simply drinking milk is not the qualification actually to enter into the spiritual realm. So, so in the we see the our entire sampradaya, that how a very prolific acharyas who were themselves qualified to become the Jagat Guru, who were so rich in the Vedic knowledge, in the Vedic in the realization of Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they were so desperate to receive the instruction of the spiritual master. And that's why whenever Krishna comes to this world, whether he comes as Lord Ram, he tried to get the knowledge through Vishwamitra Muni, through Vasishtha Muni. When he comes as Krishna, he gets that knowledge through Sandipni Muni. When he comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he want to get that mercy through Ishwar Puri, through the Madhavendra Puri. Yes. So even when Krishna comes to this world, he shows through this example, it very boldly declaring that without the mercy of spiritual master, there's no access, there's no way out. And the spiritual master is just not just a medium of knowledge. No, it's not that the relationship of disciple and spiritual master is not a professional teacher and student relationship. Okay, spiritual master is there, he will teach me some knowledge, and then I will become rich in that knowledge, I will realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No, it's the act of begging. It's the act of begging for the mercy of this, trying to please the spiritual. As Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, one should very nicely satisfy the spiritual master. One should try variety of ways to make spiritual master more and more pleased and more comfortable. When he becomes happy, when he becomes satisfied by the sincerity of the student, and when he wants, it is his will. We cannot snatch the knowledge from a spiritual master. We cannot demand the knowledge from a spiritual master. It's not professional student or teacher relationship. It is when we please him, and when he gets really satisfied, and when he wants to give it, then only it flows. And that's why it starts with service. It starts with surrender. It starts with Sharnagati. When we surrender to the spiritual master, when we please him, then only when he wants can he supply that knowledge to the spirit, to the disciple. We can pay a person a lot of money to speak very eloquent Vedic, Sanskrit, etc. But the realization of Supreme Personality of Godhead, no. That we cannot snatch from a person. Can we go and snatch Krishna from another person? No. And that's why Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur writes in his song that Krishna se tomara, Krishna Krishna boli, dhai tava pache pache, ami to kangala. He says that Krishna is yours. Krishna is in your heart. But I am Kangal. I have no Krishna. That's why Krishna Krishna boli, dhai tava pache pache. Oh, hey, Vaishnav Thakur. That's why I run after you. I am ready to become your menial servant life after life. And that's why Srila Narottam Das Thakur in Guru Puja, he says, Chakshudan dilo jai, janme janme Prabhu sei. That because you are awarding, you have given me that eyes to see the spiritual reality. And that's why janme janme, janme janme Prabhu sei. That life after life, life after life, you are my Prabhu. I am ready to be your eternal servant. Life after life after life. Yes. And that's the relation of spiritual master and disciple. Yes. It's not, it is an eternal relationship, actually, as Srila Prabhupada used to say. It's, and, uh, and we see the recent example of our own spiritual masters, our own current gurus in the Krishna conscious society. What is their dedication to Srila Prabhupada? How till now, that means Srila Prabhupada has already left the world some 50 years ago. But how till now they are living their life? They are using their entire body, mind, and speech till now in the service of Srila Prabhupada. They are practically breathing within this material world just to serve Srila Prabhupada. Their only goal in life is to somehow keep on carrying out the orders and mission of Srila Prabhupada. We can see through their own personal example. And that's the relationship of spiritual master and disciple. It's eternal. It's beyond the realm of this body. It's beyond the realm of its current birth. It continues forever. And Srila Prabhupada used to say, even if we reach the spiritual kingdom, even if we go back to Godhead within this lifetime, still there also, we remain the same servant of our spiritual master. Even in the spiritual world, we need spiritual master to serve Krishna, who will teach us how to serve Krishna. So that relationship is very, very eternal. And that's why we see that here, how Hare Krishna. So I'm very sorry, actually, I think it's some power problem here. Okay, Hare Krishna, we will continue from here. Okay, so as I was saying, that the relationship with the spiritual master is actually eternal. It continues life after life after life. And here Srila Prabhupada lists, of course, he lists different qualities which are needed, for the person to be, because and here Srila Prabhupada lists the qualities like how a disciple should be detached from the sense gratification, how he should be very, very sincere, he should be clean, etc. So these are the various qualities where we can be very attentive in serving the spiritual master. Because and that's why in NOI, in Nectar of Instruction, yes, Srila Rupa Goswami starts with Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udaro Pasta Vegam, that to control the senses. Because unless we control the senses, unless we follow the basic regulative principles, yes, we can see that it's impossible to serve the spiritual master. And if we cannot serve the spiritual master properly, there is no way to get the mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's why these external qualities, although controlling the senses, being vairagya, remaining clean, they may not be very core principles of Krishna consciousness. Yes, but without them,
We cannot even enter into the gateway of serving the spiritual master. Yes, because at the sensual level only we are defeated. And that's why unless one is disciplined, unless one is clean, unless one follow the basic regulative principles, it's impossible to even start, even to walk on that journey of pleasing the spiritual master. And that's why these external qualities are of very, very utmost importance, because they help us in serving the spiritual master properly. But we should also be careful that these external qualities are not actually in themselves enough to reach the supreme personality of Godhead. They are just a means through which we can please the spiritual master. But this should be very deeply engraved in our mind, that these are not the qualifications, that okay, I'm a great vairagi, I can follow all the regulative principles properly, and now I'm eligible to realize Krishna within my heart. Yes. So Srila Prabhupada used to say that these are the means to please the spiritual master. But one should be 100% sure it is only when that the spiritual master is pleased can, in truth, be Krishna be actually realized. So we have to beg Krishna from the spiritual master, because only spiritual master has Krishna, and only he can impart Krishna. Yes. So I think we have already reached to the limits of time. So I think I would like to end the session here and request if anybody has any feedback and any question, want to add something. Hare Krishna. Anybody? Okay. So if we have nobody, then we'll try to end the session for today. So Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Shila Prabhupada ki jai.